I have some football news to discuss, despite the fact that Ohio State is on their bye week. The Ravens already coming into tomorrow's Ravens-Browns game with a CVS receipt of an injury list. It's just a constant rotating door of guys getting injured, guys leaving the lineup, guys getting back into the lineup. But the Browns injury news has gotten just a little bit worse as the week has gone on, starting with Deshaun Watson, who had an issue with his throwing shoulder that he suffered late against Tennessee. He's been limited in practice ever since. He did tell Mary Kay that he anticipates that he's going to be good to go. The team is optimistic that he will play, but the fact that he's still listed as questionable and he hasn't been practicing throughout the week seems like even if he does play, he won't be playing at 100%. And with the 49ers game coming in week 6 after the bye week, you would like your starting quarterback to be as healthy as possible for that game if you're the Browns coaching staff and front office, obviously. And I think it does kind of, it begs the question, how much worse is a fully healthy DTR compared to a 70, 80, or 90% Deshaun Watson, especially if he's dealing with an injury to his throwing shoulder. It might be best to sit this one out, although since this is a division rivalry game, I do feel like the Browns are going to try to play Deshaun Watson this one just because, again, you really do want to get a decent divisional record early, especially because if they lose to the Ravens, they would fall to 1-2 in the division. That's a hole they don't want to put themselves in. So I anticipate they put Deshaun Watson out there, although, again, if he does aggravate the injury that he has, it's probably going to have a lot more negative long-term effects than if they would have just sat him in this one. You also have tight end David Njoku getting some burns on his arms and face on Friday night after lighting his backyard fire pit. The severity of the burns are currently unknown. He did send a tweet that just said, "The flesh is weak, see you tomorrow." Obviously, that is an indication that he also expects to play against the Ravens. However, if those burns are serious, might not be the best idea. Just, if there are burns to his face, just the act of putting on and off a helmet can become extremely painful, or at least extremely uncomfortable for him. And if his arms are seriously burnt too, then just moving around the field can become a chore, and it might slow his movement down a little bit, or it might cause him to drop a few passes that he normally wouldn't drop. And you also, just from a health standpoint, you don't want to be sweating into any freshly burnt skin. That's a good way to make an already bad issue that much worse. Zaire Mitchell-Payton has been elevated from the practice squad at the tight end position, so even if Njoku feels like he is good to go, the Browns do seem to be at least preparing for a scenario in which he won't be ready quite yet to play. And then there has been a bit of a negative update on Nick Chubb's recovery. Still not as bad as the career-ending the feared career-ending consequences that his injury might have had. However, he will need a second surgery for his ACL. The timetable for his return is now sometime next season, which is a bit of a downgrade from just the 6 to 8 months that was originally reported. I still think no matter of the timetable of when he can come back, I do think the question is still lingering. Does he want to come back after the second major injury to his left knee, the first one being suffered while he was still in college at Georgia? I mean, Nick Chubb does have to think about the rest of his life beyond his NFL career. And while, from a football sense, Nick Chubb, maybe you think he's going to be coming back because the Browns roster is in the best state that it's been in Nick Chubb's career. Again, if he's thinking about, unfortunately, there is nothing stopping what happened to Nick Chubb against the Steelers on Monday Night Football from happening yet again. So even if he does do all the rehab and works his butt off to come back, as Nick Chubb will do it, if Nick Chubb sets his mind to something, he's going to work his butt off at it and probably achieve it. If you've ever seen, workout videos of Nick Chubb or just his play on the field, he probably will achieve what he sets his mind to. But if he goes through all that work and just suffers another major injury soon after coming back, that could render his mobility just completely useless way earlier than most people would anticipate that happening to. So Nick Chubb has a lot to think about. Obviously, I'm not going to try to guess on what he chooses, but I do think that question will be there throughout the rest of this season and next off season, and I guess now into next season, as again, it seemed from initially 6 to 8 months that would set him to be able to return week 1 of next season. But now that the timetable is sometime next season, that's like a whole 3 or 4 month span that it could be in between. So that's going to do it for this video. It's a quick update on some Browns injuries. Still a lot up in the air as to what lineup we'll see from the Browns against the Ravens come 1 o'clock on Sunday. Leave a comment down below if you have any feelings or thoughts on this video's topic down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and you'd like to see more like it. I will see you at the next one.